Am I the asshole? For uninviting my friend from my Oscar party over a bottle of whiskey? All names are fake. Me and my wife Kate host an Oscar watch party at our house every year. We've been doing that since we moved in together 5 years ago. We dress up well, place bets on the winners and eat popcorn. It's a fun tradition that many of our friends look forward to every year. One of those people is Rick, a friend of mine from college. My wife loves whiskey. Shortly before last year's party, my Phil gave her a bottle of Macallan. He said he'd spent $175 on it. Kate gave birth to our first child in 2022 and was still breastfeeding last year, so she decided to save the bottle for after our son had weaned. During last year's watch party, Rick got wasted. While reaching for something else in our liquor cabinet, he accidentally dropped and broke the bottle. He apologized profusely once he'd sobered up. I was angry, but the whiskey was Kate's and she forgave him, so I decided to drop the subject. A couple weeks after that, we asked Rick how he planned on replacing the bottle. He was shocked at our question, and told us he didn't intend to. Rick's been having money problems for a while and struggles to pay his rent. He said that since we knew about his condition, it was unreasonable of us to expect him to pay for a $175 bottle of whiskey. I told Rick he had until this year's Oscar party, which was months away at the time, to save up for a new bottle. If he didn't, he wouldn't be welcome at our place for the party. At the time, he agreed. Throughout the year, I asked him about the savings several times. He always told me he was close to the goal. Last week, I asked Rick about it again. He confessed he hadn't actually saved any money for the bottle. So I kept my promise and uninvited him from the party. Both Rick and his girlfriend, who frequently joins him at our parties, are now angry at me for uninviting him over a drunken mistake. They also insist that I'm being unsympathetic and entitled by expecting Rick to pay for a new bottle. Kate's on my side, but is worried we're being too harsh. I really don't think we are, but as Sunday approaches, I'm starting to feel guilty. I have less than 2 days to sort this out. Am I the asshole? Edit: Rick was the only person at the party who got drunk. Many of us didn't even drink. Also, we'd selected drinks and set them on the kitchen counter. Rick went into the cabinet to look for a bottle of liquor without asking me first, and was the only person who did so. Honestly, I never understand the thinking on this. Why do people feel less of an obligation to make right with a friend than they do to a random person? I'd be embarrassed being that drunk and breaking such an expensive bottle. Paying this back would be a major priority for me, even if I was set back in other ways. I don't know the guy's situation. A lot of times we get some grace when we don't deserve it, but I would think $175, no matter the situation, should be able to be done. Do you want to be right, or do you want to keep a friend? Don't be a dick. It's up to you. Would you rather the bottle of whiskey or the friendship? I feel bad for him if he's broke. It was an accident, but your points are valid. I was angry, but the whiskey was Kate's and she forgave him, so I decided to drop the subject. A couple weeks after that, we asked Rick how he planned on replacing the bottle. Last week, I asked Rick about it again. He confessed he hadn't actually saved any money for the bottle. ESH. You two suck for forgiving him and dropping the subject and then turning 180 and demanding he pay for it. That's confusing. He sucks for lying to you, and not even trying to save a damn cent. In the comments you say Rick was the only one who got drunk and the only one who got into the liquor cabinet. I'm curious, is the getting totally wasted when everyone else isn't typical behavior of Rick? You're not the asshole either way, but I'm getting the vibe that Rick has a problem with alcohol and the refusal to replace is more of a straw that breaks the camel's back type scenario. ESH. I don't know honestly, though the logic I'm using is if a friend of mine broke a bottle like that and I knew he had money issues, I wouldn't ask him to reimburse me. At the same time, if I broke the bottle, I'd replace the bottle once I was able to get it. Because both of you guys acted against how I believe a normal person would have acted. I'm saying both of you suck, but not that much. ESH. I have a large, close circle of friends, and if I broke something in one of their homes, I'd sure as hell sort it out because it's the right thing to do, no matter what the cost. I'd get it done, or at least make a payment plan to fix things. However, my friends would not expect that to happen, and neither would I, if in the course of partying at my house, something got broken. See, I think if you open up your home, you open up your risk, especially if there's booze involved. Op could have been better, and Rick definitely could have done better. Yep, in my opinion, ESH. I guess it all hinges on whether you feel your friendship with him is worth more than $175. You're right, but is it worth the cost? Only you can decide that. I would not burn the bridge over an ages-old friendship. I would ban him from getting into the whiskey cabinet again, and relegate him to shitty whiskey. He really should replace the bottle, but if you're going to serve alcohol in your house, you accept the potential risk of a drunken mistake. If he can't afford to replace the bottle, then you are valuing your entire friendship at $174. So who's cheap? I'm not sure about my judgment of you. It's like this wasn't well thought out. No doubt he is in awe for calling you entitled. But, why wait weeks to ask for a replacement? But if someone has a problem replacing a $175 item, then you should have had him cash app you like $20 a week until he hit the amount you need to get it replaced. He literally could have been saving and wind up using the money to pay a bill. It's literally has happened to me several times, and I mean several, when I was struggling after my husband died. When PPL struggle to pay their rent, making a $175 can be difficult. It's as simple as that. I don't even think that the whole party issue is important. I'm not even sure why he would want to go after being uninvited. Doesn't sound like fun to me. Somehow unpopular, but you're the asshole. It's classy to replace something you break in error, but it's also classy to let accidents go. Don't take the low road and be crass ass, torpedoing a relationship over a bottle of alcohol. You're the asshole. A guest gets drunk and accidentally breaks something and you make a huge deal about it. If you'd break a friendship for a bottle of liquor, you're either an alcoholic or an A. Or both.